Morning, everybody. Everybody's well. Happy Monday for those that are here live. Those here any day of the week, thanks so much for being here. We are charting our way through the spring, heading into the summer. It's almost May, which is incredible. We've been talking a lot about this concept of forcing energy. Last week, we ended up really highlighting one of the most important aspects, this idea of responsibility leading to ability, the idea of recognizing that we don't know how much we have inside us. We highlighted yesterday these hidden heroes. There are people like that in this world around us that are digging into deeper parts of themselves and they don't even appreciate it. And we don't appreciate it either. Last week, we ended off by talking about those that have recovered or are on the road of recovery from addiction and just how much they have to dig into to become bigger. And so it may be that you don't know that person in the house next door or down the block or that kid seems like a regular kid or a regular person or a regular man or woman, but you have no idea just what they had to accomplish in order to get back to quote unquote regular. They're not regular. You don't become regular when you recover from an actual addiction. It's not how it works. You become extraordinary. You have to. You have to, because you have to go to a place deeper than you had earlier in order to overcome the challenge that is in front of you. And we have to look at this and learn from it, because that means that we can be doing it as well. We have to look at the people that have overcome major challenges and learn from everybody that there is a place to go to draw deeper levels of energy from, to overcome things that when they hit, we never thought we can overcome them, positively and not as positively, right? From you went to a job and the job was bigger than you thought, and then a year later you're doing it, to God forbid, you're thrown a challenge, and when the challenge hits, you go, there's no way I can overcome it, and then a year later you are. In both cases, what's happening is you're going to a well that you never went to, and you're digging deeper to a place that you've never dug to, and you're finding something there that you never had to find, but it's there. And if me and you could put ourselves in situations and increase the standard of our life, it will force us to consistently go down to the well, right? And that's, I guess, the difference between having a well, which is a place where you have to go to, versus creating an underground watering system in which you wake up in the morning and the sprinklers are, I don't know if they are or not, but are taking from the well, if you will, and watering the grass. If you know you have water underneath, why make it into a well? Why leave it in the corner so that you have to go to it during moments of peak or, God forbid, valley? It's there. You've got the water. Your property is on water, right? You're sitting on an oil field. Why have to go to the corner and get what you need? Just figure out a way to bring it up consistently and not as dramatically. Just bring it up all the time. Doesn't have to be the one time you hit it. God forbid if there's a challenge, but consistently, we don't have to always wait for like, oh, I can. Oh, I can. We don't got to wait for that. What we got to do is figure out, well, if I got the well underneath, if I got the well under my property, why do I got to reach the bucket down and go all the way down and then bring it all the way back up? Why don't I just figure out a way to bring it up always? So it may not be as dramatic, but it's always watering my grass. It's always giving me food. I can put it into a faucet. So I don't have to wait in the morning for someone to go with a bucket and then bring it down and then come back. And now we've got water in the house for 2 hours. I can just put it in a faucet. And so I don't have as much, but anytime I need it, I can just turn it on and turn it off. Do you hear the evolution of water? How we go from like, it's in the corner, let's get it when we need it, and it's a little annoying to get, but there's going to be a lot of it for a brief period of time in the house. Let's go out and get water and bring it to the house and use it to drink and to wash ourselves and to wash our clothes, versus let's just figure out how to constantly put it ready to be used. And then we can put it in behind the shower, and we can put it behind the sink, and we can put it by the grass, and then we just turn it on and off when we need it. You know the difference in how water has developed over time? That's like our lives. We have the energy source. We're born a piece of God. God is infinite. It's in us forever. No matter what we do, no matter how great or how bad we think we are, we all have the same infinite source of power in ourselves. That's God's gift. It's himself. The greatest thing God gave us is himself. It's there. So we can just leave it, live in the world of senses, picture the future based on the past, and then assume that we can't. Because that's easier than thinking that we can. And survival is a lot easier than greatness. And comfort is a lot easier than discomfort. And then, when God forbid there's a challenge, or when I have some major thing to do, then I got to go to the well, deep breathe, and go through whatever tactics I got to do. I'm like, dig in and dig in and dig in. And then I go, oh my gosh, I did it. And then someone goes, I told you could do it. And then you're like, yeah. Then you tell yourself, well, that was only one time. And then you go right back. I shouldn't call him. I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't push for that. I'm really tired. I'm assuming the bad's going to happen in the future. Round and round and around and round and round. Safe, comfortable. Everything goes back to safe and comfortable. Eat whatever I want. Say and don't say whatever I want. Don't do that thing. Don't try that thing, whatever. And then, peak or valley, I got to go back to the well. This happens in the religious calendar as well, or in the secular calendar. The big holiday's coming up. I got to go to the well. Big holiday's gone. I got to go back to my regular life. Life cycles are like that. Right? High or low, I should really change my life. Then life gets back to normal. Now I'll just go back to what I'm doing. We sit in this spot because we still live in that space of like 200 years ago, where like there's a well down the road that we all go to when we need it. And we need to get inspired, and we need to have someone tell us how great we are. And we can do it, 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 and then we can do it. And are we sure? Yeah, we can do it. And if we can't tell everyone in our family, we can pay someone to tell us that. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And if we still can't able to pay us that, maybe they'll prescribe us medication so that we can do it, and we can do it. And I don't mean people that clinically need medication. Or clinically need it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, no, I know I am. Maybe I need some coaching along the way. Maybe I need someone who's studied the tools of the mind. Okay, that's okay. You can sit with someone who's studied the mind, who's got a degree in psychology, and they can help you through life. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. That's fine. You want to be an Olympic athlete? Sometimes you need an Olympic coach. You want to be Olympic at life? Sometimes you got to go see somebody. That's okay. I don't need to see somebody because they got to tell me how great I am. I got a well. I know I got a well. I know it because I've seen it, I felt it, and I know it because I look around the world and I've seen people do things that are extraordinary, and it's amazing. And if I speak to them without them realizing, they'll tell me the same thing. So what I got to figure out how to do start to bring the well to my life. I got to start building pipes that can draw the water on demand. Consistently. Always. I have to figure out a way to take my life and increase it a little bit every day. I need to be a little bit uncomfortable every day so that every day I can draw a little water up. I don't want to have long periods of relative mediocrity and comfort followed by peaks and valleys where I have to become extraordinary. I'd like to have a consistent stream of small increments of discomfort so that every single day I am drawing up water, so that every part of my brain knows exactly how to get to the well, so that every situation that I'm in, I've already gone to the well once, maybe in a small way. But small, consistent discomfort is what's going to take the water from the well and put it into my home. I'm going to draw a pipe from behind my kitchen sink down to the well by every single day, pushing a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. I'm going to build a habit right now on this show. We're going to build a habit. And I'm going to go to my energy bar that I've been talking about, and I'm going to grow it a little bit. I'm going to force 10% more by when I get up, by what I eat, by what I open my day with, by what's the first thing out of my mouth, by what calls I make, by what I do during the day, by whether I make these calls, by whether I do this thing, by whether I appreciate God. I'm going to slowly commit myself to be more uncomfortable in very small +1 increments, because if I can maintain the discomfort in a +1 increment, then at some point I am 1 inch into the ground. And then I'm another inch into the ground. And another inch into the ground until one day I've got a pipe that is from my life to that well in this particular area that I call on all the time. They talk about this for the sports fans out there. The difference between a veteran who's been playing in the playoffs and the Super Bowl for many times versus one that shows up first. It's game changing. When you look at a guy like Tom Brady, who's been at these Super Bowls so many times, he's a different player because he doesn't come into the game and he's like, oh my gosh, overwhelmed. And if you watch sports, you see in the beginning, the guys who first show up to the playoffs, it takes them like a quarter or two to get into it because they got all these jitters. But he's used to it. He's used to playing at this level. He's used to playing in front of these fans. He's used to having the ball in his hands with the whole game on the line. He's been going to the well so many times. He has trained himself and pushed himself to be able to navigate his mind at such high pressure situations that he doesn't have to then stop and run to the well. He's living by the well. He has a pipe that goes from him to the well, consistently feeding that energy in. When you do anything in life, if you maintain a consistency in your discomfort, that which you do consistently becomes more comfortable. And so what you're really doing is you are drawing energy into an area that was otherwise lacked that energy, and you keep it there consistently. You're bringing the light into a dark crevice, and it's now you're putting a fixture in there, and it's going to be on whenever you need it. So it could be that it was hard to make a phone call, but you make enough phone calls, and at some point you can make a phone call. It could be hard to have a conversation with that person in your family, but you do it a couple of times and you can have a conversation. And it could be hard for you to walk into a new environment or study something you never studied before, or make a decision on your own spirituality that was hard for you. But once you do it a couple of times, it's normal. And the other ways too. It could be hard to give up on this really great thing that you have, and to get involved in a negative behavior. And the first time you do it, you feel so guilty. But after a while, the darkness sets in, and it's who you are, even though it's not who you are, but that's what you think. Because who we are consistently is who we are. That's what we do. But what I mean by who we are, I don't mean that's who we really are. It's who we think we are. So if I got this energy source that I have to force out, because I'll never know if it comes out unless I force it, I can, in moments of peaks and valleys, force out a whole bucket of energy, but I don't want to live like that. I'd much rather force out small bits of energy every single day. I'd much rather have a consistent flow of energy that I could grow slowly until one day I wake up and I don't know who I am. I think it was Michael who just jumped in with this example of working out. Did I get that? Was that Michael? Yeah, it was Michael. I think it was Michael. Yeah. If you work out or if you run, you see this. At some point, you're running every day. In the beginning, you're ready to like totally collapse when you didn't even get out of the block yet. After a while, at some point, you're 2 miles in, you're like, wait, why am I not in pain? Your body's like, because we can adapt to stuff. Because you're drawing from the well. When you draw from the well, your body adapts. And you just keep at it and keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. At some point, you can run. That's the joy of life. The joy of life is the knowledge that if you put yourself in slightly uncomfortable positions every day for what's right, for real goals, for real things, at some point it's going to get easier. You're going to draw from that well. And at some point it's going to be normal. And now you're going to have the benefit of living an elevated life without the discomfort that originally went into living that life. Freeing yourself up to go to the next level. Knowing that you have an energy source that is infinite. It's an amazing game that we've been given. Think about the gift that God gave us. It's the most amazing gift. God says, I'm putting you in this earth. You're not a rock. You're not a piece of plastic. You're not a tree. You're a human being. You're built in the image of God. You've got an energy source that is infinite. You're not even an animal. That means that you've got a brain that can think. You can imagine into the future. You can anticipate. You can elevate. And you have inside you, like Mike just said, an unbreakable soul that will never, ever get impurified. That will never, ever, ever go down. That will never, ever not be attached to the source at its highest level. Go use it. Take your brain that can see the future. Take your soul that is unstoppable. And then use that little thing in the middle called your body to condition it and just go. Go try stuff. Go find me. Go change the world. Go make it a little bit better every day. You don't work for materialism. You're not thrown by materialism. You don't need to eat that. You get to eat that. And when we see ourselves with the humility of, I don't know how big I am, and with the excitement of, I don't know how big I am, life begins. Life begins. But we got to take it on. We got to take it by the horns. All right, let's keep on doing our exercises. Pick one thing you got to do today. Just pick one thing. Think of the energy level that you have going into that thing. And then force 10% more. Make it a little uncomfortable. Pick something that you should do today that's a little uncomfortable. Just pick anything. But don't not do it because it's uncomfortable. Force up the energy. And let's start living. Let's start living. Let's start taking the water from the well and putting it into every nuance of our home. Let's start having the energy flow into us consistently. All right, we'll continue talking a little about this. We have a couple more things we got to get through to really get this. Okay, have an amazing day, everybody. And with God's help, I cannot wait to see you again tomorrow.